Today I'm going to show you how to install Linux on your Windows machine. For that, I'm going to go step by step with this laptop over here that I recently got for my backpacking adventure. And it's a second-hand laptop, Lenovo ThinkPad. I'm very happy with it, but it comes with Windows on it. And I'm a Linux user. I'm not a Windows hater, but I like the freedom that you get with Linux. So I'm going to show you how to install one distribution because Linux is just the kernel. Think of it as some kind of layer between your hardware and your applications, okay? And that's just a part of an operating system. There are many in the Linux world. We call them distributions or distros. And I'm going to show you how to install Ubuntu, which is the one I've been using for many years. It's beginner friendly, but not the only one. So there are many distributions you could choose. There's Debian, Manjaro, Mint, which is also very good for beginners, Fedora, there are many. So the process will be similar for many of them. I'll show you one and I'll show you how to install this one, but also how to try it on a virtual machine. So you can try this one or any other and check which one you prefer. So we're going to go through several steps, install Ubuntu in different ways. We're going to install it default way, the easy way, and the one that I prefer is not much more difficult, but I like it because you have disk encryption and that gives you more security when you are, for example, backpacking like myself in 2 weeks. If you want to know more about it, I left a link to my website in the description below. And if someone could steal your laptop or get access to your data, it's good that you have an extra layer of security with encryption. You can only do it when you install the operating system. So choose which one you prefer before you start. And that's it. So let's get started. So here I am on Windows. First things first, we're going to download Ubuntu. For that, we just Google Ubuntu download. And the first link you'll find will be from Ubuntu itself. Click on it. And I'm going to download 24.4, which is an LTS, which means long-term support. I'm going to click on download and that's it. You can ignore the sign up thing and the file is already downloading. I've already done it, so I'm going to cancel it and I'll show you the program we're going to need for a virtual machine if you're interested in that, which is VirtualBox. Let's click on the first link you'll find and download. Select the host machine you have, in this case is Windows, and it will start downloading the file, which I've already downloaded, so I don't have to do it again, and it will install like a normal program. I have already installed VirtualBox, so let's open it and create a new virtual machine. Click on New, then give it a name wherever you like Ubuntu VM, and then look for the image we downloaded before. It will probably be under downloads or something like that. The .iso image, select that one. You can skip the unattended installation if you want to go through all the steps. I'm going to leave it like that. Leave the default password, which is change me. I'm not going to install additions because I'm going to delete everything afterwards. You can configure like memory, how many processors your virtual machine should be able to use. I'm going to leave it like that. You can configure the hard drive as well. There are many things to configure, but that would be like another video. So just let's keep it simple and it will start installing Ubuntu on VirtualBox. You can have a preview on the right side and the main window that you can ignore it if you are not interested in the installation, especially if you selected unattended installation, which I did. You can see what it's doing on the preview, and here you have some summary of everything you selected and everything you configured. As you can see, the installation is running like any other program on Windows, just a regular application, so you could open other programs if you like. That would be okay. Here you can see what's going on. Probably nothing that you want to see anyway. It's just copying files. So let's move forward. Here you see the installation again. It is much slower than you see here, so be patient, it will take a while. There's nothing interesting here if you selected unattended installation. You can see with this button, the console, every step that is going on. It might be useful if you have problems, otherwise ignore it. So now here we are, we have installed Ubuntu, we have our user, this was the default user, the password was change me. Let's try. Okay, yeah, here it's
Ubuntu. The first steps like welcome, some options. We don't want to share system data, never ever. Finish it and let's try. Let's see if it works. For example, let's see if the browser works. I'm going to introduce an URL, for example, from my personal website, some promo here, right? And it worked. Yeah, it looks a bit different now, but it worked. So let's switch off the machine, power off, and bye. To flash the operating system onto a USB drive, I'm going to use this program. Where did I find this program? Very easy. Let's go again to the Ubuntu download site where we downloaded the image. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see some more information, what's new, system requirements, what you will need. But the requirements are not like really difficult to meet. And there's this how to install. Here you have some steps and the link to the program we're going to use, Balena Etcher. This is the program. You can just download it and install it like any other regular program. Let's switch to operating systems, Windows, download. Okay, and it's downloading. I've already installed the program, so I don't have to do that again. Let's cancel it and let's start with the program. I'm going to open it, just click on it and it will open. You select the file you want to flash, which is the Ubuntu image. The target is the USB drive, this one that I have on my machine, and let's flash it. It will take a while. I'm just moving this forward. It won't take very long either, so it's like, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes maybe, or maybe 10, but not much longer than that. And it will flash, it will validate the flash, and everything's good, looks good, is it? Yes, it is. So everything's completed, we can close it, and that's the end of Windows for my computer. I have switched off the laptop. This is the USB drive where I flashed Ubuntu and the one we want to boot from. So let's turn the laptop on, wait for a couple of seconds and enter the BIOS. It's usually F10 or enter F12, it depends on the manufacturer. In this case it's enter, press enter. And in this menu we have to press escape to go to the BIOS and look for boot. It's usually under startup or sometimes it's just boot options. Click on boot and select the order. We don't want to boot from Windows, so we want to boot from this disk. Just put it up, just move it at the position you want to boot it, but I'm going to show you a better way for Lenovo at least, so I will leave it as it was. So let's restart the laptop, turn it on again, and with Lenovo you can click F12, yes, and it will enter the boot menu directly. So you don't have to go through the BIOS on the different menus. And here you can select the boot order you want to have. I boot it from the disk and it starts with a menu where you can install Ubuntu, you can test it. I'm going to install it, so I press install and the install process starts. I will move it forward because it's a bit longer than you see here. I'll select English as my preferred language. Accessibility, I don't need anything of that, so I can move forward. My keyboard is German, so I'm gonna look for it. It's a bit bound there, yeah, from Austria, doesn't matter much, but yeah, you can test it. So I can type those weird keys from the German keyboard. You can select your Wi-Fi network, configure it. It's straightforward. You just enter the password and it will connect, so you can download all the updates and stuff while installing Ubuntu. So for example, here you see there's an update. You could click on an update, or I will just leave it like that because I'm going to show you some other things. Install. You have interactive installation, automated, which was like the unattended from the VirtualBox. So some extended selection, so you can have some more apps, or I will have the default because I will install what I want to install. I will need some third-party software graphics and some media formats that are not free software, but it is what it is. So let's select them. And I don't want to have Windows alongside, so I won't select this one. I will erase the disk and install Ubuntu. And click on next. And oh, we have a problem. It didn't work. Sorry, we failed and we will have to stay on Windows forever. No, I'm joking. I did this on purpose. Actually, I had to create a Microsoft account to encrypt the disk. So let's boot on Windows again. Let's click on restart, and you will have to remove the USB drive to start. You'll see a message here. So just remove it and press enter. And let's move a bit forward and see. We are on Windows again. Let's get into Windows and search for encryption data or something like that. Data encryption, you'll see here on the menu, and device encryption. Encryption is in progress because I've switched it on and it didn't update yet, but it's encrypted, let's say. So you have BitLocker and device encryption. In my case, it's here device encryption. You click on turn off. It will take a while, so I'll move forward. This bar has to go all the way to the right, but it will automatically move to the right, and that's it. Device encryption is off and we are ready to go. We can restart and continue with the installation. Click on restart, and that's the last time I'm going to use Windows. Let's continue where we were and create an account. Just select your name, your computer's name, and your username. I usually use a short computer name and username, so it's shorter on the console. Password, I usually get a very weak password, but I will have some other passwords I'll use it later. And let's continue. Select your time zone, the typical stuff that it's, you can configure it later otherwise. Those are my choices. The disk I'm going to format, and let's install. This is a longer process than you see here. It will take a while, but just be patient, leave it running, and you won't have to do anything else until it's done. You have the console again with the same button as we saw on VirtualBox, and it's done. And now we can continue testing if you just want to run Ubuntu for a while or restart. Click on restart now, and the device restarts. We see the Ubuntu logo there. We have to remove the USB drive again. Remove. Please enter, and now it will boot directly from Ubuntu. And now those few seconds where you never know if it's going to work or not, in the end it always works. So here we have the Lenovo logo again, so it's booting, and soon we should see the Ubuntu logo as well. Here it is, and it will start normally. Hacker Bikepacker, this is my account, so I will introduce my weak password. I will change it later, but let's see if it works. So we have the same as we had when we installed Ubuntu on the virtual machine. This introduction, Ubuntu Pro. I usually enable it later because I have an account, but I will skip it for now. So next, and we don't want to share system data, as I said before. So no legal notice, nothing. Next, finish, and our operating system is ready to be used. Let's test it. Again, I'm going to see if my website works on Firefox. So let's introduce the URL and enter. And here it is. Great. So it worked and we have Ubuntu ready to use. I'm going to close it, and now I'm going to show you my preferred way to improve security, which is encrypting the disk. So how do you want to install Ubuntu? Go to Advanced Features, then use LVM and Encryption. Select that one. The other ones are still experimental, so I will not try them. Just OK. And the rest is very similar to what we did before. We just have to create a passphrase, which is a password. You have to remember this one, because if you forget this one, you won't have access to your disk anymore. So be careful with this password and introduce one you will remember, or write it somewhere down and repeat the passphrase and if they are the same, it will work. Next, and the rest is the same as we did before. What's new? Now we have to introduce yet another password, that passphrase we configured before, which is on this menu here. You see the dialog, please unlock disk. So introduce the passphrase, and that will make your disk available. And you will have to introduce your user again. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.